Yo, what's going on, gang? Listen, man. Don't listen to this man yapping. Today we have the best settings you need to be rocking right now in Black Ops 6 beta. And the only reason we're making a best settings video in beta, not only it improves your play experience, but a lot of these settings are going to translate when the game actually comes out. And with the new and improved Omni movement, the new movement system coming out, we want to make sure that everyone is absolutely moving as efficiently as possible coming into the new game. So look, we're going to go ahead and open up our settings. We're going to start with controller. That's what we play on. I play tactical flipped. Regardless of if you play flipped or not, flipped only just means that I shoot with my bumpers and I use my lethals with my triggers. I only recommend that if you're on PlayStation, if you're used to it. But if not, if you like the way your controller shoots, put it to tactical, not flipped. The only reason all of mine say flipped, if you go down to your settings to swap, if I turn this off, now when I go down here, it'll just say tactical. So make sure you put this to tactical. And what that's going to do is make your right stick to where you crouch and slide, and then your circle and or melee is going to be, circle or B is going to be melee. For me, that's a paddle because I use a scuff. But I'm going to go ahead and keep that on. I want to make sure I'm tactical flipped. Sensitivity, I play on 7.7. I don't believe you need to go any higher than that, man. You'll notice the most accurate pros in the world are playing at 7 or lower. They are not going past that. It can mess you up. And the only reason I say that, if let's say my sensitivity, let's just put it some ridiculous. Let's go to like 1010, okay? So now my ADS sensitivity is here, and I need to turn on someone directly behind me. Let's just make a point. Let's say this is where I need to go, okay? And I need to turn on this person. I'm going to overlook that. Even there, I'm overlooking it. Finally, a little bit more on target. Still overlooking it. Okay, and then you go down. You slow it down. Let's just say to a 7. Now when I'm thinking about turning on somebody, I'm stopping closer to my mark, so I'm not going all the way past to here and having to pull back. I'm getting closer to my mark where I can actually hit my target upon ADS rather than having to go all the way out and then pull all the way back in. So the slower you can actually get your sensitivity, the better. I've noticed for generalized shooting, like, you know, obviously I'm running, I need to turn on the pole, I'm right here. I don't have to overcompensate and come back, and that's ultimately faster. It saves you time, so you're turning on targets faster. Back to controller settings, low motor strain, I have this off. This I believe is part of like the new like AI type movement, so we're not messing with that. Simplify controls, all that, we have all that off. Bumper ping off. Dead zone inputs, I have minimum left stick at 4, right stick at 4, triggers are set at 13, but I use bumpers, so triggers do not matter in this standpoint because they're like mouse click triggers if you just use the bumpers. Under aiming sensitivity, all that's at 1.0. Look inversion on foot is standard. Advanced aiming, I have instant on my ADS transition timing, dynamic on my curve type, and you can actually change the slope scale. I keep that at 1.0. A lot of people like standard, but I've always played dynamic. Custom sensitivity presumes at 0.93 on everything up to a 4 times. 4 times and up is 1.0. I consider a 4 times sniping at this point. For our motion sensor advanced settings, I haven't touched any of this. I do not recommend touching any of that at the moment. Movement, this is where it gets real, gang. The movement is huge, man. This is what this game's on. If you do not have under the first setting sprint assist, tactical sprint assist turned on, you're messing up. And then the sprint assist delay set to 0. Always sprint, you know, sprint assist sideways, sprint assist backwards. This makes it to where you don't have to press your stick in. You're automatically sprinting in any direction. So I'm sprinting left to right, I'm sprinting forward, and then eventually the backward sprinting kicks in as well, which is such a nice feature to have where it'll automatically pick up on all of these different settings. You definitely want to be tac sprinting in every direction, and the only reason you want that to be automatic, if I'm strafing left or right, I can hit the crouch and now I'm automatically sliding. I didn't have to think about my slide movement there. I didn't have to think about, oh, well, I'm not sprinting, I gotta mash a button in. Or if I'm going backwards, I'm moving back and I want to do a little dive, I don't have to worry about messing up to do my backwards dive, forwards, anything like that. Now all I can really focus on, with the crouch being the right stick, I can hit these 180 shots and feel content. Or if I want to slide around a corner, maybe even dive around this corner, I don't have to worry about anything to do with sprinting. It's going to automatically do that for me. And now that we crouch and slide with the right stick, we're able to actually aim while we dive. We're able to dive these corners and precisely aim at targets wherever we need to be shooting, which is going to be massive in the future for saving your butt in these gunfights. Going back to our settings, back to controller, movement advanced settings, sprint / tack sprint behaviors on toggle, but again, that doesn't matter because we already got our tack sprint going. We have the auto tack sprint. If you do not want to use auto tack sprint, single tap sprint is the best option for you, so you don't have to do the traditional double tap, and it's set to double tap by default. So single tap sprint's huge. Plunging underwater, I have trigger. I like free. I like to freely be able to plunge underwater. I don't know if we can actually get in the water on this map. Yeah, no, it'll hit you with the return to combat. So we definitely can't get underwater on this map, but I like free to be on. That's more of a Warzone setting. And then combat aim down sight behavior is obviously going to be hold. Weapon mount is ADS plus melee. I've always preferred that. C4 detonation is grouped. 1 by 1 is the move for me, at least in this with Warzone. Equipment behavior, I have it set to hold. Manual fire press. Hold was big for like a really long time, but we kind of like debunked that. So if you remember last year when MW3 dropped, you could switch manual fire to hold and then turn burst guns to automatic guns. But it also kind of got buggy with like your drop-in pistol in Warzone. You go to spray your drop-in pistol and it wouldn't shoot that fast, and that was the problem. Everyone had this setting to hold instead of press, and they're wondering why their pistol was broken. They're buying new controllers. You know, definitely leave that on press. We have advanced combat behaviors. I'm not changing any of these as of right now. I'm leaving all of these as default. Score map behavior, all that set to toggle. Advanced overlays, ping wheel, everything like that, I keep that up at the top left. I like to have that. As for our graphics, this is going to be preference. Again, I play at 1440, and then I'm using basic right now. I do not care about the graphics being great. I just want good performance. So I'm just kind of leaving that there. I even have the upscaling turned off. I know a lot of people like running the Fidelity XCast, which I usually run on most games. We can actually turn that on now, and it'll give you an idea of what it does. Kind of adds this like level of sharpness to different objects. It can be really beneficial. It helps the game look maybe a touch more crisp. But ultimately, it's not like a huge ordeal. It's really all preference. Audio. Every year, I always turn gameplay music off, dialogue down to 60, effects, cinematic music volume. I have music off, but we can turn cinematic music off as well. I just leave these two at 60, 100, and master volume at 100. Audio mix, I play headphones. I don't think headphone bass boost is improving footsteps this year. It could be different because Treyarch has totally different sound profiles. Big settings here, reduce tinnitus sound that's ringing when you get flashed or stunned. Definitely turn that on. Help you hear a little bit more when you flash, you can't see. Everything else other than that, I haven't changed. Under interface, I believe that's where they put it this year, was under interface. Telemetry, maybe they put it under graphics this year. We might have skipped over that. Let's see. View, inverted flashbang. I have it off right now. Usually when multiplayer drops, I'll turn this on when people are trying to go for weapon quests and you're getting flashed constantly. This makes it to where your screen goes black when you get flashed. As of right now, I'm not getting flashed rarely ever, so it's off. But once I see that's a problem, I'll change that. You definitely want to run 120 FOV. If you're not doing that on console, PC, it doesn't matter. 120 with affected underneath it, not independent, affected. This will give you less visual recoil. So then when you're shooting, you don't have as much as a bounce in your shot, so you can really hit these crazy shots where it looks like you have no recoil, and then everyone's in your comment section like, you're cheating. But in reality, you just followed a settings guide, and now you can control your recoil at a head level at really any distance. It doesn't matter. And that's when everyone's like, you're cheating, you're cheating. I guess we lost the game. We got defeat. But that was the end of the video. That was perfect timing, gang. Listen, if you are new to the channel, enjoyed the content, man, hit the sub, crush a like. If you are enjoying beta, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you think there's anything they need to fix or change. I'd love to hear that feedback as well. But until next time, gang, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for another heater. Let's get it.